A pleasant surprise or an unpleasant day? Maria woke up this morning with a strange feeling. The sun was shining and birds were singing outside her window. But her mind was full of worries. She knew it was going to be a day full of important decisions. I hope today will be pleasant, she thought, though she wasn't entirely sure. When she arrived at the office, the first thing she saw was an email from her boss. The subject read, "Your presentation yesterday." Maria sighed, her heart racing. She had worked hard on that presentation, but she wasn't confident about how it went. As she opened the email, she found out that her boss's feedback was positive. "Great job, Maria. Clear, confident, and well-structured." She felt truly pleased, and a smile appeared on her face. What a pleasant start to the day, she thought. In the afternoon, Maria had a meeting with her colleague, Ethan, to review a new project. Ethan could be a bit strict sometimes, making the day feel unpleasant. When she entered the cafe, Ethan was already there, frowning. "I'm not very pleased today, Maria. This project is complicated," he said. Maria felt a little upset, sensing that Ethan's mood could spoil the rest of her day. But she decided to respond positively. Using her skills, Maria guided the discussion and showed Ethan a few simple solutions for the project's challenges. She stayed calm, asked the right questions, and listened carefully. Ethan gradually relaxed and said, "Honestly, it's a real pleasure to see these solutions." Maria smiled, realizing that even days that start with displeased people can turn into pleasant and motivating moments. As the sun began to set, Maria was walking in the park on her way home, watching the golden light dance through the pink blossoms above her. The air smelled of fresh grass and spring flowers. Children were laughing in the distance, chasing bubbles that floated like tiny rainbows. She took out her notebook, something she always carried but rarely used, and began to write. Today started with doubt. I felt unsure, even afraid. But now, as I sit here, I know something. A single kind word can change the direction of a conversation. A single smile can soften a frown. A single choice to stay calm can turn an unpleasant moment into a pleasant memory. She paused, then added, maybe life isn't about avoiding unpleasant days. Maybe it's about learning how to find the pleasant moments hidden inside them. Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Ethan. Thanks again for earlier. I was really stressed, but you helped more than you know. Maria smiled. She looked up at the sky, now painted in soft shades of orange and lavender. The day hadn't been perfect, but it had been real, and in its own way, it had been beautiful. On the way home, Maria whispered to herself, today was a pleasure after all. Okay, now let's talk about the word pleasure and some other words that are related to it. بریم که راجع به واژه pleasure و یه سری از واژه‌هایی که در ارتباط با اون هستن و هم خانواده‌اش هستن صحبت کنیم. Pleasure. It's a noun, countable and uncountable. این واژه اسم هست، میتونه uncountable یعنی غیر قابل شمارش و countable یعنی قابل شمارش باشه. به عنوان اسم غیر قابل شمارش pleasure میتونه به معنی خوشی، شادی، لذت یا رضایت و حتی تفریح باشه. For example, she sipped her drink with pleasure. Another example, are you taking the trip for pleasure or business? به عنوان اسم قابل شمارش pleasure به معنی یه فعالیت یا تجربه‌ای هست که خیلی ازش لذت میبری. For example, enjoy the simple pleasures of life. این ساختار میتونه بسیار مفید باشه برای جمله سازی با pleasure به عنوان countable noun. میتونیم بگیم be a pleasure to read something. Be a pleasure to work with someone. Be a pleasure to watch something, etc. For example, it's a real pleasure to meet you. Another example, Maria was a pleasure to work with. یکی از واژه‌های هم خانواده pleasure, pleased به معنی خوشحال و راضی هست. این واژه adjective یا صفت هست. یه ساختار پرکاربرد که میتونه در جمله سازی با pleased به ما کمک کنه این هست. میتونیم بگیم be or seem or feel pleased with or about or by something. For example, she was pleased with her results. وقتی میخوایم بگیم برای کسی خوشحال هستیم میتونیم از ساختار be pleased for someone استفاده کنیم. For example, You could pass your driving test. I'm really pleased for you. یه ساختار دیگه‌ای که با pleased میتونه استفاده بشه این هست. Pleased to hear, pleased to see, etc. For example, I'm pleased to hear that you've passed your exam. متضاد واژه pleased میشه displeased. displeased. این واژه هم صفت هست به معنی ناراضی، ناخشنود. یکی دیگه از واژه‌های هم خانواده pleasure واژه pleasant به معنی خوشایند و دلپذیر هست. pleasant. pleasant. این واژه adjective یا صفت هست و یه مترادف آشنا براش واژه nice میتونه باشه. For example, we had a pleasant evening together. Another example, we enjoyed the pleasant weather of Gilan. Another example, she is a pleasant person. دقت کنید دوستان، زمانی که از صفت pleasant برای یک شخص استفاده می کنیم میتونه به معنی خوش برخورد، خوش مشرب، مؤدب و یا خوش رفتار باشه. متضاد صفت pleasant unpleasant. unpleasant به معنی ناخوشایند هست. امیدوارم براتون مفید بوده باشه. اگر به دنبال یادگیری واژه‌های زبان انگلیسی در قالب داستان هستید، حتما سابسکرایب کنید و همراه ما باشید.